What else you want to talk about?
The voting process. How does it involve? To currently look like.
Okay, so put some things on the whiteboard, and I promise you I'm not going to win any awards for my design. So a little bit of backstory on the 30 approval votes and the 21 block producers, and just how all that came about, from my understanding, which could be wrong and is of course limited. One of the things I remember Dan writing, I think Dan Larimer wrote, I think it was Steam It, a post about how many block producers, how many votes, why those numbers were chosen. And it has to do with a couple of things. One is how much decentralization is meaningful. And another one is how much attention can human beings pay to a problem. There's some research that was done, and the book on this, book that was published was the article was The Tyranny of Choice. The tyranny of choice suggests that the more choices you give somebody, the more stress they feel, and the less they want to make any choice at all. And so if we gave people 100 approval votes, it's overwhelming. It's just too many. And if you only give them 2 approval votes, it's not enough to get diversity. And so the 30 approval votes seemed like it was a good compromise, where you can pay attention enough to come up with 30 good names, probably, maybe. And the 21 block producers is enough of a diverse set to give you resilience in the case of network issues, but small enough that it's manageable, that people can oversee the work of 21. Look at them, vote them in and out. And I'll show you the mechanism here on voting. So I've got here a matrix of voters across the top, block producers down the side. And so voter 1 has 800 tokens staked for CPU plus bandwidth. So voter 1, they just cast an approval vote. Here's the command. It's called vote producer. It's in the system contract. Just say that my account is voter 1. It's because either I am voter 1 or voter 1 gave me their proxy and I'm voting on their behalf. So I can vote producer for account voter 1. And I just list up to 30 block producer accounts. And that's all I do. So then the way it looks here is I've approved them. And so it's 800 times the 1. And then if, let's say, vote producer 2, voter 1, 2, 3, and then all vote for block producer 1, his vote total is 800 plus 640 plus 1. I can't do that. But it's whatever that total ends up being, right?
It's 1630, 1640.
Oh, man. And so, 1650. No, you're
40.
Right. 40, right. And then this guy, he's only got 800. None of the others voted for him. And down here, block producer N, only get 640. So first place, second place, third place. All right. And so the voting is just yes or no on a block producer, and then the weighting, the power comes from how many tokens you previously staked. If your stake goes up or down, your vote power goes up or down. Automatic. And then every 2 minutes, these vote totals are checked. And whoever the top 21 are the lineup for the next round of block voting. So that's the mechanism.
Right. How it becomes today's version.
So why is it this way today?
Yeah.
It has a lot to do with prior work with Steam It and BitShares. That approval voting was used in both of those, to the best of my knowledge, I think. And it seemed fairly stable. I think we had 100 producers instead of 21 in one of them. And it was just too many. And so we reduced the number to make it more human accessible. And 30 approval votes has just been our working assumption since day one. I'm surprised it's not on the white paper.
Yeah, it's not.
It's certainly in our Steam It posts. I know it's in our other documentation.
Okay.
So that's just always been our belief. By the way, every number we talk about, the 21 producers, 30 approval votes, those are all system variables, updatable by the community. So if you don't like 30 approval votes and you think they should be 20 or 50 or 6 or whatever the number should be, you can propose an amendment to the Constitution. If you can get it past a referendum of token holders, it might become the new reality.
Right.
So there's
Okay.
that. Now, another thing you might ask is, so what do the token holders want from block producers? Why would they vote for one block producer more than another?
Mm-hmm.
I've asked myself that question too. I have no idea what the token holders want. I hope the token holders know what they want. I don't know what they want, but I have some guesses.